Hello, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Creating Happy. So glad to have you here. So for the next couple of weeks, I've decided that I want to talk to you guys about the past, because if we find a lot of evidence for what is possible in our future by looking at our past. Like, is it reasonable to think that I can reach this goal? Let me look in my past to find evidence that that may or may not be possible. And we can get really stuck there, especially if we've had what we consider to be a very difficult, unfair past. Because how can we make new, amazing things happen if we are just looking at the old things that we have or have not done, or all the evidence that we have that we can't reach goals or things like that, right? We want to look more to the future, but we have to resolve our past first. So today I want to talk specifically about your past and how you see it. Okay, so was it a good past experience or bad past experience? Was there some good and bad? When you think about your past, do you see it as being hard or unfair? Do you think it should have been different in some way? Like, do you ever say things like, it shouldn't be that way, or it shouldn't be this way, the way it is? It should have been different. Do you have a story from your past that you find yourself retelling often? Kind of like you're stuck there so much that you just keep retelling it. And what's funny is that this can be either a good experience or a bad experience, but it's kind of an indicator that you're more focused in this past time instead of the present or the future. And maybe the story that you're telling is to the effect of your life are a certain way, or the way it is, because of some horrible thing that happened to you in the past, and there's nothing that you can do to change it. Or maybe you made a mistake or a series of mistakes that you believe you can never come back from. See how the past can really keep us stuck if we're in this mindset. So if you view your past negatively, that's totally fine. You don't have to change the way you view your past at all. I just want to let you know that if thinking about your past is hurtful to you, you have the option to feel better by changing how you think about it. Because remember that the past is a circumstance. Okay, we can pick out the facts of what happened. They already happen. They cannot change. They're completely out of our control. Like, the past is just a circumstance. What we can control is how we think about our past, and therefore how we feel about our past. I want you to know that all thoughts are current thoughts. The past is past. It's already happened. It's a circumstance. But every thought you have about it, that's your current thought about it. And it's creating a current feeling about it. So there's no old pain. If you're having pain right now about your past, it's not old pain, it's current pain. And it's completely within the realm of your control to choose how you're going to think and feel about your past. So what I want you to want to do today is pose some questions that maybe you haven't considered before, okay? So if you've got something handy to take notes with, you maybe want to do that. And of course, you can listen to the replay of this as many times as you want. But there's something really powerful about writing these things down, okay? So I want you to think about something in your past that causes you pain when you think about it. I know that doesn't sound fun. I know that's a hard ask, but you can do hard things, and the payoff is going to be worth the work, okay? So I want you to do a thought download on this thing that is causing a thing in your past that when you think about it causes you pain. So just write down all the thoughts you have about it. What happened? Who was involved? Where were you? What were the things you were thinking about? What are the things you think about now? What do you wish had happened? Just all the thoughts, everything that comes up for you. I want you to just word vomit onto the paper, okay? And once you've got all of that out of your brain on paper, you can start asking yourself these questions. And don't just say, I don't know. Okay, you do know. Tell your brain, hey, you can answer these questions. It's not going to hurt you to think for a while, little brain. Because our brain does that. It doesn't want to work too hard. It just wants to call upon the things that it's always thought about before, all the same thoughts that it's always had. So whenever you ask new questions, it's just going to be like, oh, that's not even a valid question. Let's not even answer that. We don't know. So do the hard work. Really think about these questions, okay? So the first question is, how would you be worse off if this past experience had been different? Okay, so and then question number 2. What might you have missed out on if you hadn't had this experience? Number 3, how might you be different now if you hadn't had that experience? Question 4, what did you learn from that experience? Maybe you gained strength. Maybe you learned patience and forgiveness. Maybe you had to learn a new skill that you otherwise would not have tried to learn because it didn't seem necessary. Maybe this experience has made you a better friend or parent or spouse. Here's the next question. Who might you not have met? Like, are there any people that you love in your life that you would not have in your life had you not had this exact past that you had? And then what proof do you have that your past was exactly how it was supposed to be? There was a weird glitch on my recorder, so I just want to make sure that you guys heard that last question. What proof do you have that your past was exactly how it was supposed to be? And then what proof might you find in the future that your past was exactly how it was supposed to be? So I want you to really think about those questions, take some time, write your answers. And be honest with yourself and really look for the evidences, okay? And then I like to ask myself some more spiritual type questions as well. So here's those ones that I ask, okay? Do you believe that God is perfect? Do you believe that God has a perfect plan? Do you believe that God knows you exactly and what lessons you need to learn to become who He knows you can be? Do you believe that He knows the best way to teach you those lessons? Do you believe that He sees all the obstacles that are coming and that He can use those obstacles to teach you the lessons you need to learn in the best way possible? Do you believe that He knows what your mistakes are going to be and what other people's mistakes are going to be that are going to affect you, and that He can still use those for your benefit? If you answered yes to all of those questions, you should also be able to answer the question, Was your past perfect? Now, regardless of what religion or non-religion you are, you can think about and practice maybe the thought that everything that has happened was meant to happen. And the proof is that it happened. If it was supposed to happen a different way, it would have happened a different way. So I'm kind of giving you a challenge this week, a little assignment, I guess. You have those questions. If you didn't get them written down, definitely listen again and get those written down, because throughout the week, I want you really pondering those questions and writing down proof that you see. Because guess what? Anytime you give your brain a job to look for something, it will find it. Always. Your brain wants to be right so much. So if you're like, what proof do we have that my past was actually perfect? Your brain is going to be looking for that. And you're going to find way more than you ever expected. And from there, you can really decide how you want to continue thinking about your past and which is the best way to think about it in order to serve you, in order to give you the emotions, motivation that you want to do the actions that you want for your future self. And like I said, we're going to continue working on this next week. I'm going to give you even more information. It's going to be lots of fun. I'm going to teach you how to rewrite your past. But it all starts right here with questioning these thoughts that we have had for so long about looking at the story that we've been telling for years and asking ourselves, what part of this was I maybe wrong about? Okay. So thanks you guys for listening, and good luck. Have fun. Yeah, seriously, have fun with this little challenge, because you're going to blow your own mind if you take this seriously and really look at these questions. So talk to you guys next week. Bye.